Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix? With the Wicks here, and we have a special guest, Y4 John, here with us today on Fantasy Football Friday. He is one of the hosts here for this. Wasn't for sure if he was able to make it or going to be able to make it tonight, but he made the trek through this fucking blizzard out there. I mean, it's not really a blizzard, but it's coming down pretty.
It's quite the mission.
Yeah.
It's quite the mission. 14 was closed a little bit. Big accident. So
I thought I'd seen something.
Jackknife. Be careful if you're driving, but try not to.
Be very, very careful if you're driving out there. We got quite a decent amount of stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk basically about last night's Thursday night football matchup where the Steelers took on the Minnesota Vikings and ultimately failed to get the dub. The Vikes got the dub, though. That was awesome to witness and to be there, I guess, in person, boots on the ground, if you will. And then we're going to dive kind of into, obviously fantasy football stuff, a little bit of our fantasy teams, kind of what to expect for this week and going forward. I am now currently the 4 seed. I believe you were the 3 seed. I booted Logan out of there. I think it's John 1, Austin 2, you 3, me 4, Logan 5, and then AB is 6, currently at 11 or 2 and 11. So that's fantastic. And then we're gonna give you guys like we always do, our Week 14 game picks for this week of NFL games. Now last night we kind of sort of forgot to make the picks, but I think we all had the right inclining, or however you want to say it, that the Minnesota Vikings were going to win. All 3 of us decided that, made that decision that Minnesota was going to win, even though they already kind of won last night. But that will obviously affect our record. Not really that well, or not really that bad, I should say. We're each going to win for that, and then that's pretty much the gist of the whole show. So, are you ready to get your fix? Well, before we get started, we got to bring up just a little piece of some sad news. Yesterday on the way home from the Minnesota Vikings game, we learned, and I learned that former wide receiver for the Bengals, for the Patriots, and I can't remember what other teams he was on. I don't think he was on the Jets or anything. Broncos and Patriots for sure he was on. But Demaryius Thomas, wide receiver, passed away at the age of 33 yesterday. A very unfortunate event. Not really sure what happened, the cause of death or anything like that. They're still kind of working that out. He was just found in his home. Kind of a really sad story that kind of happened last night. I mean, this guy was 33 years old. Unstoppable during his prime, really. I mean, do you remember anything about Demaryius?
I know that he was a force when he was on Denver. It says here Denver, Houston, Jets. And, yeah, he had 5 seasons in a row with more than 1,000 yards.
I think those are the 5 years he made the Pro Bowl.
Yep, most likely. And then, 3 years in a row from his 3rd season to his 6th season, he had more than 10 touchdowns, 10, 14, and 11.
That were all with Broncos?
Yep. So he was a force on the Broncos for 9 years.
I think he also had Peyton Manning throwing him the ball there too.
He did from 2015. I think 2015 is when Peyton got there to 2016 or 17.
Right after the 17 season, I think.
17.
That's a tragic loss. I mean, it kind of like shocked me at first. I was like, no way. They haven't really released any of that information. Really don't know at this time. I don't think he was, dealing with any problems. But I mean, obviously being You never know. And I didn't know him personally or anything like that. But for other people that knew him personally, they thought he was a great guy. I mean, just always outgoing, wanting to do what's best for, not himself, but others around him.
Family says possibly died of a seizure while home alone.
Now, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, football is a dangerous sport.
Do you have that connection?
I don't know. I bet you football costs that with all the hits.
Yeah.
The CTE. And that's very, very unfortunate. I at first did not believe that news. Very sad, tragic. T's and P's to everyone affected by this. Teammates, family members, coaches, whoever is really hurting at this time about this. T's and P's to you guys. Very tragic. I mean, just a stud. That's all I remember basically is he was always a stud. Like, you could count on him to go out there and make ridiculous plays and all that. So, just T's and P's out there to everyone affected by this loss. So let's transition over to Thursday night football, where the Minnesota Vikings beat the Pittsburgh Steelers barely, somehow, up 23-0 at half. Could have been 26-0 if Greg Joseph would just make a fucking field goal and an extra point. No wind. I mean, this wasn't fucking Buffalo where, New England had to run the ball all the time or Pittsburgh had to run the ball or whatever. But, I mean, we've seen the Vikings went up 23-0 like it was easy against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lost T.J. Watt real fast. Chase Claypool made a real dumb penalty right to start the game where he got kind of shoved out of bounds or tackled out of bounds by Bashaud Breeland, and he fucking takes his hand on Breeland and just kind of shoves him away, kind of like, get out of here, basically. And right then and there,
flag. Tolerance for that.
Yeah.
Some feelings.
I was really kind of curious how they were going to call that because like right away when it happened, the whole stadium just kind of like lit up. They're like, hey, what's going on? And then they fucking threw the flag, and everyone was pumped, and took that lead 23-0, and I was thinking, oh shit. I'm like, all right, we might just walk away with this one. But then I remember going to the bathroom, and this dude was right in front of me, and I was talking to Logan a little bit. I was like, somehow, some way, we're gonna make this a fucking ball game. Like, I just know it's gonna come down to the wire. And the guy in front of me just kind of giggled, and he's like, yeah, it's pretty much how the whole season's gone. I'm like, yeah, we can't. A lead is really not a lead for the Minnesota Vikings. It's kind of, it gets nitty-gritty in the fourth or third quarter because the Vikings, I think, a couple people now have told me this, have actually said this, and it makes complete sense that the Vikings play down to their opponent's strengths or down to what their opponent is capable of doing. Like, they're always going to be in a game with the Detroit Lions. They're always going to be in the game against, like, the Texans. They're always going to be in a game against, like, the Steelers, like, yesterday. It just an absolute, weird kind of scenario for the Vikings. Like, I think 10 or 11 of the games this year have been decided on the final play, and 11 out of 12 have been a one-possession game. But 11 out of 12 have been decided by the final play, and we're 4-6 in that span, or not 4-6, 4-6 in the final 10 games, not 11 games. So, I mean, it's brutal. We held on, though. Held on to get the victory here. 36-28, where Big Ben had a pretty solid day in the second half. Not so much the first half. Had 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, like you guys can see there. But really, a highlight of this little stat line here is fucking Dalvin Cook. 27 carries, 205 yards, and 2 tutties. Now, he did this all with a banged-up shoulder. Torn labrum, dislocated it last game, was wearing that shoulder brace. And he did this previously a couple years ago where same thing happened. He came out wearing a shoulder brace. I think it was maybe last season. We played the Saints. He had 130-plus rushing yards or something like that. 2 touchdowns on the day, just an absolute stud. No one would have thought that Dalvin was going to put up 205 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, a lot of people were guessing that he was going to get 6 carries maybe.
Yeah,
Madison was going to carry most of the load. But, I mean, facing worst rush defense in the NFL.
Yeah, I think they were
bother him too much.
I think they were ranked 32nd against the run, and the Minnesota Vikings were 31st against the run. And we stopped Najee for the most part. I mean, he got going in that second half. The first half was all Minnesota. Second half, Pittsburgh started, working their way back into the game. damn near tied it, sent it in overtime. Thank God Harrison Smith knocked that ball out of Pat Fryermuth. That was awesome to watch. But it was a fun game. My fucking hands bruised from clapping so much, clapping loud. I sort of lost my voice last night. It's a little scratchy right now, but I mean, I was rowdy. Except, so right when we get there, we find our seats. The game's about to start. We're walking. I had fucking 3 beers in my hand, just 3 of them, and we're walking in.
$100 bucks.
I mean, yeah, basically, it was about like $11 a beer. But we're sneaking in. You know, you're kind of like walking sideways into the aisle or whatever, and I fucking stumble. Like my front foot kind of catches a little bit, and I like throw my hands up a little bit. Some beer spilled on these 2 girls right in front of me. Just not a lot, just a couple drops. And the dude that was sitting next to him, probably like 11, 12 years old, or maybe 13 or something like that, just had this look like, the fuck did you just do? And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. And just kind of ignored it and went on. But it was pretty fun. It's pretty fun. And then Vikes fans really kind of make me chuckle every once in a while. So the guy that was sitting directly in front of me, right after we missed the field goal and the extra point or whatever, it was like 5 minutes into the game, 5-6 minutes into the game, and he's on his phone, he's texting. I was peeping. I wanted to see what he was saying for some odd reason. I don't know why, but I mean, it was right in my line of view. And he's like, he texted somebody. He said, you know, this is what did he say? This kind of depicts our season, basically. Like, this is exactly Minnesota football. And I was like, dude, you already gave up on him. I'm like, 2 drives. I was like, geez Louise. I'm like, give him a little bit some credit here. Like, let them do their work. I mean, geez, it was something special. But then his dad, his older dad, is probably 60 years old or something like that. He was cheering, he was pumped up, talking shit with us, and it was a great time to go and experience that game. 36-28, the Minnesota Vikings ended up winning, sending the Vikings to 6-7, one place closer to getting to maybe a wild card game where the Steelers moved to 6-1 on the year. I mean, really, it was a good game. Did you see all those Chase Claypool things going on lately?
I did not see anything.
So there was 34 seconds left in the game, and Chase Claypool, he gets a first down because it's like 4th and 2, I believe. So he gets a first down, and he, gets on the knee and just goes forward like that. First down, 34 seconds, no timeouts, clock's ticking. Trey Turner hauls his ass over to him, and because Chase was taking his time, got to get that ball set on the hash mark, and so he runs over to him. And as he's running over to him, he went to kind of grab the ball and actually smacked it on the ground. So it was rolling, wasted a couple seconds before they could get it set. And a lot of people think that might have been the reason why they lost. But at the same time, they had a chance to try to get in the end zone. Harrison Smith did his thing, fucking ball hawk, slapped the ball out of his hand, even though I talked a bunch of shit about that, like I think it was last week. I said, just quit going for the ball 24/7. Just make a goddamn tackle. Like, it makes me so frustrating because you give them 5 extra yards if you're just slapping at the ball, trying to pull it, and they're still going forward sometimes. So, but yeah, and then he did that, and then in this press conference, they kind of asked him about that question, and he basically just said, or he blamed it all on Trey Turner. He's like, oh, I knew I had enough time, like I was just doing it quickly, and I was going to go get the ball right away. But if the ball doesn't get knocked out of my hands, and
He was not thinking about that when he did that.
No, hell no. He got the first down, and he was like, yup, we got it, first down. And I bet he thought he had timeout. I bet that was the case. Like, he's like, oh, we got a timeout. Oh, good. Like, they did not. But Pittsburgh did get a pretty solid beating, try to come back. They did lose a couple pieces, like I noted earlier. But overall, solid game. Kind of makes me pumped and excited for Lambeau.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that crowd is electric. That's going to be so much fun. I mean,
it's going to be nuts.
It's going to be cold. It's definitely going to be snowing. If not, the snow's going to be out on the ground already.
I hope so.
It's going to be... I seen one dude at the Vikes game yesterday with his blaze orange on, even though it's fucking... I mean, it's an indoor stadium. It's not going to be cold in there, but... Hey,
be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared. To each his own, I guess, whatever. But yeah, it was a fun game. It was a fun game. Lambeau is going to be very, very exciting to see and do all that. Pumped, absolutely pumped up for that. So, Minnesota Vikings beats Pittsburgh Steelers 28. Let's dive into some fantasy football talk, huh? Shall we? So let's take a gander. First game, we got me taking on AB. He's 2-11. I believe I'm 6-7 at this point. So here are our lineups right there on your screen. So I got obviously some pretty well needed points from Dalvin fucking Cook last night. Got me like 36 or something like that. 36.7 points. And my kicker, Greg Joseph. I decided to take a chance, put him in the game, and when he missed that field goal, an extra point, I was like, God damn it, why did I put him in there? But he got me 12. So right now I'm currently beating AB 48-16. He has to fix his lineup, probably won't. I mean, you can see it there. Keenan Allen, he's out. Adam Thielen, he's out. Saquon Barkley, I have heard, is out as well this upcoming week, and with I think Mike Glennon's their quarterback. I mean, he even has Michael Pittman Jr. In his lineup, and he's out. So this might be an easy dub. I'd say for me, for the most part.
He is,
yeah. He has the bench players.
Yeah, if he's changing it up, Hopkins, Kamara.
I'd assume he will, hopefully before Sunday, because I think he did last week.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because we talked about it when nobody could hear us.
Maybe he was watching.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
Well, I mean, he couldn't hear us at that point, but yeah, that was one of those shows.
The hell of a show.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a good one. We nailed it. I'm telling you. But we're doing improved a little bit now. You know, we got some videos, some sound. It's I'm loving it. It's just the start. But yeah, I'm looking pretty solid here against AB. Hopefully, I can get a dub, go to 7-7 on the year, maybe move up in the rankings. I think I need you to lose. What's your record right now?
I am 7-6.
Oh, I think you might still be ahead of me. If you lose, I win.
You beat me last week.
Did I?
I had the best lineup.
I think you beat me earlier in the year, though.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it goes for points for.
Yeah.
It would probably have to.
And I was looking at my lineup from last week because a lot of times my lineup freaking sucks, and I look at my bench and I got a bunch of guys. I'm like, God. But last week I looked at my bench and I was like, most I could have got was 2 more points. I just lost.
Started the right people, basically. That sucks. Let's go to your matchup here. John is taking on Austin. Austin has a 22.5 point lead against you. Justin Jefferson got him 20 of those points. I think he has Boswell. Yep, Chris Boswell only got him 2. So that is very, very interesting. This should be a good matchup. You have some pretty good starters. Lamar Jackson, Cordero Patterson, Austin Eckler, Deebo Samuel. He is a big question mark on your team right now because like I've heard reports where he might be good to go or he might not be. So that's why basically he's questionable.
Yeah, I'm debating on him or DK. I think DK might start picking it up here because I think Russell's feeling a little better. And we could start seeing that start to take place. Him and Lockett. Just depends on who it is. I think Lockett had a big week last week.
Yep. I mean, not really, but I think he had, if we go look at it here, he had 68 yards on 7 receptions and a touchdown against San Fran. So not terrible, but yeah, he was the main receiver that Russell used. So then Christian McCaffrey you got there. DK, yeah, Seattle. I don't know what's going on with DK at the moment. Like that is just unfortunate. Man, I mean, not really after his remarks of Shannon Sharp. I didn't really like those myself. But yeah, you got a pretty good, solid lineup. Austin's a good opponent this year for the most part. I feel like.
It'll be. I think I beat him. I think we're 1-1 too. Me and Austin. So hopefully I can get the dub here. That'll really spice things up for the rankings.
Yeah, well, if you get that win, that would be huge. Because I think he's like 1 or 2 wins ahead of you.
No.
Yeah, I think he's 2 seed. Or is he 3 wins ahead of you?
He's 1 win ahead of me.
Yeah, so if you win and he loses.
Yep, then we'll have the same record.
And then I think it goes for points for, and then you're looking a lot better.
Oh yeah.
So that's gonna be a very interesting matchup, very fun matchup I think there for both of you. Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce will be interesting. He went off I think last week.
Yeah. Crazy, 38 points I
Yeah,
think.
that's nuts. Wait, no, it wasn't him. It was Kittle that went off.
Oh, yep.
Kittle went off.
That's who it was.
Yeah, because I remember having that graphic.
Last week, Kelce 5 points.
And I think he's probably due for a bounce back week. Mark Andrews might have a day against Cleveland this Sunday.
Yeah, I hope so.
You don't have any other. I mean, he's ranked 2 in tight ends. That's actually pretty nuts.
Yeah, I don't have another tight end. I had to get rid of my Patriots defense. I got the Packers. I'm actually pumped to see the Packers against the Bears this week. They got Fields is starting.
Okay.
And
Is he?
is
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And I
think Jordan Love.
I think
Jareer's not.
he's not.
No,
Yeah.
So they activated him basically for practice, like he's able to practice medically now,
He's
and
doing like stuff by himself.
yeah, stuff by himself, like not how do you want to put it, like not as physical of like drills, basically like less physical drills, and just kind of getting back into the flow of things. Really is what he's doing. But they have 21 days since that would have been Wednesday. I think I said that. Yep, I think it was Wednesday. I said that. Jareer Alexander. So they had 21 days since that day to activate him to the active roster, or to sign him or get him back on the active roster. Which I'd assume they're going to. I mean, it's Jareer fucking Alexander.
Yeah, they're probably gonna save him for playoffs. All those guys that are hurt, they're probably just like, you know what, we've been winning without him. Should save him for the big games.
I think that's what Ty Schmidt on the Pat McAfee show was talking about too. He's like, it's almost perfect because it's like another season on top one, because you have all these guys that are new players, and they're going to be 100%. They're going to be healthy. They're going to be ready to rock and roll. David Bakhtiari, Jareer Alexander once he's healthy. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Who else is talking?
Mainly those three. Then those are like
big. Yeah, those are big names.
All three of them.
Yeah, that'll be. I wonder what you guys will do then. Like, are we going to see less playing time, you think, from Desmond King and Savage because of Rasul Douglas and his recent performances, and then Jareer coming back when he's healthy?
Yeah, I like the situation we're in. I mean, I like those guys.
Yeah.
Kevin King is a physical player when he's not playing off.
Does he play more safety?
He's mostly corner.
Okay. Nickel corner or something like that.
Yeah. Thinker safety. Adrian Amos.
Oh, yep. Who is the other safety? Is it Savage?
Yeah, I think so.
Might be Savage. Darnell Savage. That make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that'll be good.
It'll be good.
Let's go over to the last fantasy matchup. There was only 6 of us in this division, or in this league, to get your fix. What? Yeah, Savages. Okay. Yeah. So let's go take a little gander at J. Cole versus Logan and their fantasy matchup. We got here Team Cole versus Full Chubb.
Projected to be close.
It is. I think if John just... He has Aj Brown in there. Is he in?
Oh, he needs defense as well.
Oh, okay. He needs defense. And John has Jonathan Taylor out. Yeah, wait a minute. So John's projected to win?
Yeah, barely. 3 points.
Wow, I have a different... They must have changed because on here it's red and green. And green's
well, once Logan gets a defense in there, then he should be projected to win.
I wonder if he... No, he didn't have a defense. Yeah, I can see it.
What are they projected? Yeah, they're projected 6.7, so if he had them starting, they would be projected to win.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It'll be a good matchup between these two. Najee Harris put up 25 points for John. He needs to figure out that is Aj Brown inactive. Is that what it says in there?
Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to figure that one out. Cooper Kupp, he's questionable, but he's going to play, obviously. I mean, there's no doubt in that. But Logan, David Montgomery, I don't know why he's listed as questionable. He's definitely going to have a really good day. He's not questionable on there anymore. Weird. So, yeah. He is questionable. Doubtful, huh?
Yep.
I think it's because a lot of them in the Detroit organization got the flu. A lot of it, like after they beat the Vikings, a whole big flu bug just kind of swept through. Yeah, so very unfortunate for them. But,
yeah, I think if once John updates his shit here, he will be projected to win a lot more because he has Amari Cooper on the bench, Aaron Jones on the bench, Knox on the bench. Yeah.
Kyle's been
Amari
okay.
Cooper and for Aj Brown or Aaron Jones. Both of them guys can have a day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see how this one pans out. I think because we need J. Cole to lose, but at the same time, I do not need Logan to win. I just took him out, and I do not need that coming back to bite me in the
J.
ass.
Cole, I mean, it's locked in, ain't it?
So
how many games are left? He's 10-3.
16. So we go week 16. This is week 14. So this week plus
locked in.
so 3. He's basically he's gonna be in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
I mean, I think he's locked in at number 1.
Yeah. Well, I do. I'm just saying, like, I need him to beat Logan so that Logan doesn't sneak his way up in there, and then I don't sneak my way out. You know. So.
I mean, he can win out because I like him.
Exactly, because it doesn't. I mean, the real season starts in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, only 2 teams aren't going to make the playoffs in this league out of 6. So, no, you're definitely 3rd right now. You could, yeah.
Gotta win this week, though.
Yeah, you do need to win this week. That'd be huge. And then I need to win. And then, after that, Now, for those of you that don't know, for this league, basically, we had a little bit of money. Everybody put $20 in. So I think it was the winner gets $80. Second place gets it's 60 for the first place. And plus for the first place, they get a free piece of merch, anything they want from my merchandise store, if you will, or whatever. So they get a free pick of whatever the hell they want, plus $60. Second place gets $40, and third place just kind of gets their money back. And, third place is obviously a championship or a consolation championship, so that'll be fought over who wants to keep their money, who doesn't, basically. So it'll be fun. I'm excited to see how it how it plays out the rest of the year.
Yeah, I got you and John next.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. So.
Goodness.
I wonder, so that means I have you, and I think I have Austin after that, because I think I open the season against Austin. I would assume. So, yeah. Oh, AB. Let's go! Let's go. Got AB twice in this 3-game span. Should be a pretty easy one, I think. And then we got you next week. Gonna have to take that one from you, and I just apologize for that one. I mean,
it's gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, lately my players have been playing like crap.
Yeah, I mean that's been me the whole goddamn year, for every league. I just cannot figure it out, except for like one. I think one league I'm doing really solid. No, 2 leagues. I'm second in one league, and I believe I'm third in another league, like a random 10-person.
And no guy that just goes out there and consistently puts up like 30 points.
Like a Jonathan Taylor type night or something.
Cup.
Yeah, Cooper. No, not Cooper Cup.
Guys like that.
Who's on your bench?
James Conner. Elijah Mitchell out. Marquise Brown, DK.
Oh. Yeah, so if DK could just pull his head out of his ass, that'd be really, really good for the fantasy football team. I mean, it's a tough one. Debo's a baller for number 4 in fantasy.
He's probably one of my most consistent ones.
Yeah, especially because he's a running back a little bit now too lately, so that adds those points. Yeah. Well, I think that's a good place to stop for the fantasy football talk. Really not much to talk about. I mean, I've been thinking about this too. It's like, yeah, it's Fantasy Football Friday, but we really don't dive into it too much. We just talk about our teams, but I like it. I like it a lot. So
we answer questions.
We do. We have. If you guys have any questions, fantasy-wise, I mean, you could ask us. Probably not gonna be right, but we'll give you what we think is the best option available for you, or to choose from. Basically, we've had people ask us, should I start this guy over this guy, or stuff like that. And I think most of the time we've been right, if I can remember. Some of the time we've been wrong, and I think we've only been asked like 3 or 4 times.
With fantasy, your guess is just as good as ours.
Basically, I mean, if you want to, go to the Fantasy Football Focus or whatever, they're really big. They actually know what the hell they're talking about. Or, I think he's watching right now. You can talk to good old George. George is actually pretty decent at fantasy as well. So, I mean, he could answer your questions. Maybe if he wants to, if you're on Facebook or something like that. So he's pretty decent at it. I think he's in the playoffs. He's second in my division in my work league, even though it's like 3 teams per division. But you're towards the top, I think, or at least I assume, in the rankings up there. So that's pretty fun to see. So I think it's time we get to our Week 14 game picks. Now, what do you say about that?
Yeah.
So here we go. These are the games that are taking place Sunday at noon. And if you see the little icons below, those are our faces. And, I mean, basically I'm the green face. John is the red box face. And Logan is the gray one. So Logan is was unable to be here today. So he sent me his picks. John sent me his picks. And I made this quick little thing up there so you guys are able to see our picks with your own eyes, so you kind of get a better understanding of who we're picking, why we're picking them, and stuff like that. So first game, we got the Baltimore Ravens against the Cleveland Browns. I picked the Ravens, just solely based off something just doesn't feel right with Cleveland. Like they're always in close knit games, but I do have a feeling like this is going to be one of those games that's going to go either way. It's going to be a really tough fought game.
Yeah.
Division. I think the Browns are fighting for a playoff spot.
Yep, that's one of the reasons why I picked the Browns. I think their playoffs have already started. And I mean, the Ravens are kind of in that same boat. They don't look the same lately either.
Okay.
Did they lose last week?
Yeah, by 1
Against
of the Steelers, 20-19. Yeah, and the Steelers are a really hit or miss team. I feel like. Yeah, they have Lions.
Lost to the Wicks. Lost to the Wicks.
Yeah, it'll be.
That's why I picked the Browns. I'm like, Ravens are kind of on that down slope too. This will be a big battle. Playoff game for really both teams. I mean, this is huge.
I really do think for this game, it's the outcome is really going to depend on how well Lamar Jackson plays and how well, I guess you could say, I want to say Baker, but how well Cleveland Browns offense does.
How well Stefanski does.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's been hit or miss this year.
Real
some
hit or miss.
questionable play calls.
There was some speculation, or like I think I heard this, where he's kind of similar to Mike McCarthy in the way that, I called these plays at one point, like in Minnesota.
Yeah.
They were working. They got us the NFC Championship game, brings them to the Browns, and now he's kind of like, well, this is what worked. Why should I change it?
It just gets stale. And that's what happened with McCarthy. He's a very good coach, but eventually it just gets caught onto it, gets stale, and you kind of see with the Cowboys. It started off really, really hot. Not what's going on. You know, they just don't look the same.
They're real hit or miss.
Yeah.
So then the next game, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans. We all picked the Titans. I mean, Jacksonville's garbage. Okay, they're not going to win too many more games, probably the rest of the year, especially against. I know the Titans have been struggling lately, but
They're struggling, but not as much as the Jaguars.
And there's no way Mike Vrabel loses to fucking Urban Meyer. Like it's just not it's not possible. I don't think. Then after that, we got the Oakland Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is a very interesting game because I do believe history shows or has showed. So I mean, whatever that these two teams, sort of like the Patriots Dolphins, always split. Usually every season. Packers Vikes. It's always back and forth, and I can't remember. I think the Raiders won the first matchup. I think. If I'm
this year.
This year. Well, no, they didn't. If they won, let's go take a gander real quick. All right, Chiefs. Yeah, they beat the shit out of the Raiders, 41-14.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting how that pans out. But I still believe, like, even though history has shown that they kind of flip flop every other game or whatnot, the Chiefs are getting hot at the right time.
Chiefs are, and their defense is playing
stellar. Oh yeah.
I think that they're going to run all over the Raiders once again in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically probably what's going to happen. Their offense is a little hit or miss though from time to time, but I still think Kansas City's going to take this one. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints taking on the New York Jets. I picked the Jets to win this one, as well as Logan. Solely based off the fact that Saints are traveling from an indoor stadium to an outdoor stadium in the freezing cold. I think it's going to play a little bit of a factor, and I don't know how well Taysom Hill's still, like how well he's going to perform. And I feel like if the Jets are going to win any more games this year, this might be their chance to win. Even though the Saints have a really, really good defense and their offense is kind of hit or miss, I still
Kamara's playing this weekend.
I think so.
I mean, according to fantasy, he's not necessarily questionable or anything. So think that they
I think
run
he
the
was just.
offense through him.
Oh, and they will, because I think Mark Ingram's out with COVID, so I could see why you picked that. I think 100% that I seen the tweet said Alvin Kamara is pretty much full goal or something like that.
Yep. So, yeah, that's why I picked them. I mean,
You
I just
gotta.
think that they got more guns to roster than the Jets.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Sean
100%.
Payton versus who's their guy?
Robert Saleh, Bob Saleh. Yeah, it does. I mean, it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a good outcome too. Hopefully, I'm on the winning side, but you might be on the winning side as well because Alvin Kamara is back, and that big piece could help. So the next game we got the Dallas Cowboys going to take on the Washington football team. Me and Logan picked Washington, and the reason I picked Washington was basically because last Friday when we had the show, it was Washington versus Oakland. Both me and you picked Washington, and I think we made the statement, hey, we keep rolling with it because Heineke's balling. 4-game win streak. He was an absolute stud, so I said, you know what? Fuck it. Lock it in. Washington. Have to pick them until they lose. This is going to be a tough game, though.
Very tough game. This is a hard one for me to pick because Washington has been playing so well. Really, the reason why I went for the Cowboys is because this is do or die for them. This is their week. But they got to get shit together, and if they don't, then the season's.
Yeah.
Washington might freaking win the division. They keep it up.
I can't remember if it was Washington or Philadelphia, but I think it is Washington. So they have the Cowboys, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Giants to finish the season. So all the last stretch of their games, because I did it on Shred Identity Tuesday with Taylor Heineke, and so they have Cowboys, Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants to finish the season. All division.
I want Washington to win. I'm picking the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But I am rooting for Heineke.
Oh, yeah.
He's motivated by money.
Well, I mean, hey. Yeah, that's very, very true. $500 million in 4 games.
I want another 125 getting this food.
All right. You only have to play 60% of the snaps, get the dub, $125. Ka-ching! Basically. So that's going to be a fun game. Like you said, Dallas, this is make or break, I feel like.
Yeah.
They can't lose this one. They have to win. They have to keep winning. Next game, we got the Falcons taking on the Carolina Panthers.
That's a tough one.
So I picked Carolina, just like Logan, like you guys see there. Very tough decision. I wanted to go with the Falcons. But with the recent performances that Carolina has put on, I feel like that's not going to happen again. And they did just fire their offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. So I feel like that's definitely going to play a factor because a lot of the time, in most cases, the head coach, when the head coach gets fired and the interim head coach comes in, you always want to bet on them because you really haven't seen what they're capable of doing. They haven't even seen the offense they're going to put together. So usually, probably 7 or 8 times out of 10, they're probably going to get the win. So that's basically why I chose Carolina to win this one. What about you?
Yeah, I picked the Falcons mainly because it seems like a mess at the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
Is Cam starting this week?
I'd assume. No. I'd assume. I don't know if PJ Walker is or not.
I don't know.
I feel like you continue to go with Cam.
Did he get benched?
He got benched, last game.
That's what I'm saying. It's such a freaking mess there.
Yeah.
With what you shouldn't have benched him. I don't know. He was playing so bad, but it's like who the fuck's the guy?
Yeah, it's very true. They're definitely probably going to be in the quarterback carousel this year.
Where's the team's confidence in the guy leading them? It's like, oh shit, Cam's back. We love him. What the fuck was that last one?
Yeah, 5 for 20, 23, ridiculous.
Yeah, I just couldn't pick him. I'm picking the guy who Matt Ryan. They're shit,
Veteran.
Inconsistent, but
Cordero's healthy. I mean, he's a baller, so that's a good pick. That's gonna be a fun game as well.
2 weeks ago, freaking Carolina beat the Cardinals.
Right? Kind of crazy. Yeah. So then the last noon game here, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Houston Texans. We all picked Seattle for basically the same reason why we picked Tennessee over Jacksonville. There's just no hope for the Texans, and they benched Tyrod Taylor.
It's my guy.
Yeah, what the fuck? I mean, he's had such bad luck. I mean, Bills, he led him to a playoff. Then Josh Allen comes in, I can't remember if it was Josh Allen or somebody else at the time. And then he goes to the Browns. Baker comes in. He's gone now. Then he goes to the Chargers. It's a fucking golf tee shoved in his lung. And Herbert came in. Herbert got the start, took over that job. So Tyrod, done. Goes to Texans. Goes to the Texans to take over for Deshaun Watson, who has yet to figure out his civil cases and whatnot. So he's the guy going forward. He gets injured. Davis Mills steps up real nicely, playing some, I guess not real nice, but pretty solid. Puts some decent performances out there, and then
really shit ones.
Yeah, it's very true. Very shit ones.
6 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Eesh, yeah.
72 pass rating.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean Tyrod's 5-5. Check that.
Yeah, I mean, with this Texans teams, it's just so hard.
Yeah.
Like, you really can't do anything. They have no offensive line. They have no defense. Their wide receivers, I mean, they only have Brandon Cooks at their wideout. They have no tight end.
He needs to go somewhere else.
Yeah, and he will. There's no doubt
That'll
about
be
that.
like a Robert Woods situation.
I could see that
Robert Woods was
with the Bills.
with the Bills, and when the Rams got him, we were kind of like,
Okay.
decent.
Okay.
But look at him this year without Robert Woods. They don't look like the same team. And I think Brandon Cooks could be that for an actual good team.
Yeah.
I was hoping that the Packers would be Brandon Cooks.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Him, Cobb, and Devontae.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a nice trio to have.
Yes.
Especially because Cook's fast. He's like a younger version of what like Randall Cobb. Kind of. Like he's just
And he was mentored by him.
really.
But
Oh yeah.
because Randall Cobb was from the Texans.
Yep.
Super on ball.
Yeah. Right. Jeez Louise, gotta figure that out. But those are our Sunday noon picks. Now we have the Sunday football games that take place at 3:05 or 3:25. There's only 4 of them. Me and you have all the same picks on this one. Logan's different. The first game, Lions at the Broncos. Both me and you picked the Broncos.
He's riding that momentum.
He is riding the momentum, and I couldn't just basically off the fact that they are on the Super Bowl hangover. It feels like.
Yeah, could be. I mean, they did just win.
Yeah.
Their first game.
Last drive or last minute or last second play.
Do you think the Broncos are a better team than the Vikings right now?
See, I don't know because I do know, like for a fact, that if we play them, it's going to be a 1-possession game. Yeah. And I mean, I'd assume Vikings would come out on top on that one, but I mean, how consistent can the Lions
Teddy's
be?
not hurt, is
No. I hope they're not going with Drew because I think that was last week where they went with Drew. Or no. Last week they went with the who was it?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, they did go with Bridgewater because he had 257. So they might be going with Drew. And I hope not because I do feel like Bridgewater's the better quarterback there. He puts him in a better position to win ball games. So.
Why is there an article about Teddy going?
Well, because so Teddy came out when he was at the New Orleans Saints. MCDC was a tight ends coach in New Orleans and would have all these speeches, and basically he's like, Teddy said he would literally have you walking out of the meeting wanting to punch somebody in the face for no reason.
That's why I do Trey loves him.
Exactly. That's why he's not going to get fired.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that.
And that's cool too. I mean, because their first win, he was the play caller in it. And then he took over the play calls, and it seems like the team started kind of picking up once he took over the play calls. I mean, they only have so much talent there. He doesn't have much to work with,
Exactly.
but the team has been in, I'm pretty sure, every single game
Yes,
this year
they've been fighters.
with nobody.
Exactly. And I think a lot of that has to do, like you were saying, the culture change, that it's shifting to like, look, you have, show up, do your job, play the best you can, and that's all we can ask you. Yeah, we might lose for the first couple of seasons. It's probably going to more likely happen, but if you guys continue to buy in, you guys continue to do what I'm saying and preaching, One day we're going to be a good
I don't
football
know how many times we said we think Lions are going to get their first win this week. We
Yeah.
said it all year long. And then when we finally lose faith in them, and they finally do it.
Then they just, God, that was brutal. I don't know how the hell we do that. I mean, Minnesota, typical bullshit. But yeah, I mean, that's good. I'm glad they found their head coach. It's probably going to stick around for the next couple of years, I hope.
Yeah, I hope he does well.
Unless line curse is real, they get rid of him, and that's probably their mistake right there. So we'll see if that happens and transpires. So the next game, we got the New York Giants going to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. We all picked the Chargers. I mean, yeah, I just think Chargers are a way better team.
Yeah.
Mike Glennon's starting at quarterback for the Giants, I do believe.
Who?
Mike Glennon. Unless that was last week, but I think he's still starting. Saquon, I think, is out. So they'll really only have Kadarius Toney in that situation. So I'm glad we all picked the Chargers. Yeah, not looking good there on that front.
Yeah, he started.
Mike Glennon. Oof. Good luck, Giants. Good luck. That's a tough one. It makes up, though, for watching you guys beat the 18-0 New England Patriots in the Super Bowl and Man in the Arena documentary. God, that brought back so many fucking memories. I'll never, as I was watching it, I was like, dude, I was right there at this point. I was doing this at this point. Just heartbreak. Absolute heartbreak, but whatever. So the next game, we got San Francisco 49ers going to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. We both got the Bengals. Why do you got the Bengals?
I really don't know why I picked the Bengals, but I don't know why I would pick the San Francisco 49ers either. Probably because the Bengals are at home.
Yeah.
But they're one of those inconsistent teams, too. And San Fran has been playing well.
Oh, yeah. They have been. This is
The Bengals played well last week. Who knows?
It's going to be real interesting. The reason I picked Bengals, kind of like the same reason of, what was it, the Saints-Jets. San Fran going from a warm place to a cold place. I think that's going to affect them, at least right away in the ball game until they get warmed up, get ready to roll. But Cincy, man, they're a weird team. Nobody would have thought they were going to do this year. Nobody from the get-go. And it's crazy to watch. It's crazy to think that they're doing things like this. But ride that momentum, ride that wave, continue to kind of believe in them. I think that's a big reason why I also picked them. Just believe and see what they're actually capable of doing.
If San Fran wins, what's their record?
They would have the exact same record as the Minnesota Vikings, I believe.
Because I think that division is getting close.
I think they're 6-6. No, yeah, 6-6.
Yep, 6-6.
Yeah, so if they lose, same.
If they win this and the Rams end up losing. Oh, Rams don't play this week, do they?
Yeah, they do. Sunday night football.
Oh,
We'll get to that in a bit. Yep.
So yeah, if they win this game and the Rams lose, then they're only one game behind the Rams.
Okay. Yeah, that's huge. They definitely need to win. Well, who knows? This is gonna be a fun game. Yeah, it is. What is it? 8-4. If the Rams lose, they'd be 8-5, and then it'll be 7-6. Or so, yeah, they'd be right there, and a possible chance.
Oh, and then they play the Rams the last game of the season.
Oh, that'd be huge for the division.
San Fran has Falcons, Titans, Texans, Rams. They could really, if they win, if Logan's right about this, they could win the next 3 games. Titans would be a questionable one. Maybe. But for
San
sure,
Fran can have a chance.
Yeah, San Fran could sneak their way back in there.
That'd be
Especially if they beat the Rams on the last game of the season.
Oh, yeah. Maybe, I mean, you got to take this number 2 seed, solidify a spot in the playoffs, and then kind of try to march their way back to maybe an NFC championship. Yeah, we'll see. That defense really needs to play well, I think, for them, for the most part. And then the final game at 3:20, or that starts at 3:25. The Bills going to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We all picked Bucks on this one.
Yeah, I wanted to pick the Bills, but I picked the Bills last week. I did not know that shit was going to be fun. That was such a hard game.
That was terrible.
But, yeah, I thought that the Bills would start getting back on track here. I'm not going to pick against Brady right now. Gotta go with the Bucks. Gotta go with the powerhouse. I don't know what the fuck happened to the Bills.
Yeah, that's basically was my thing. Is the Bills, they struggle. And they're a passing team. I noted this right after they lost the Patriots. I mean, that game was pretty much over before it started, I felt like, because New England was able to run the ball. Buffalo can't run the ball. I mean, Devin Singletary, Bill Belichick, basically. He's absolute mastermind.
Who else could win a game throwing? I don't know any other coach that could call a game like that and end up winning.
It's only happened one other time in the NFL. It was 1974. I don't even know the winner loss.
Average is probably 6 throws back then.
Yeah, exactly. So,
70s,
I mean, that's probably about the start, or a little bit after the start of passing, really.
Yeah, I think.
No, because 74, that would have been Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah, they were passing by then.
Yeah, they were
Rodgers
definitely.
stop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's very
Still
good.
not the same as today.
No, definitely not the same as today. So that's actually, it's interesting. So those are our picks for the Sunday games that start at 3:05 and 3:25. Let's kind of shift gears now to the last two games, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, where the Chicago Bears are taking on the Green Bay Packers for Sunday Night Football. We all picked Green Bay. I mean, I think Rodgers said it best last game when he was in Soldier Field, looking at all the middle fingers pointing at him, all the yelling and shouting.
I'm your daddy.
Yeah, that's what he said,
I
folks.
own you.
I still own you, basically. We all picked him. Picked the Green Bay Packers to win. They're at Lambeau. Primetime game. Yeah, good luck, Chicago.
Go Pack.
Go Pack, go. I'll cheer for them at this point in time. Because we don't need the Bears trickling up there and sneaking a win. That would suck. And then finally, Monday Night Football. The Los Angeles Rams taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And John, you have the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm not down with the Cardinals.
No?
They got a full lineup, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they do. They got a whole lineup. I basically just picked the Rams for the reason being that I have a feeling Arizona's going to let one slip. And why not a decent football team like that they're playing, letting them slip? It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a battle. It's a division game. I have a feeling the Rams are going to win. But Cardinals, I mean, being fully healthy. Video game Kyler Murray back there. It's
going to be a tough one.
It's
going to be fun to watch.
It is definitely going to be fun to watch. Yeah, so those are our game picks. Hopefully we do a little bit better than we have previously. Currently, right now, for our game picks, we've only been doing this, I think, since week 6 or week 8. I think 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so this will be, we started week 6, and right now I'm currently 72 and 40 in first place. John is in second place at 65 and 47, or no, 64 and 48, excuse me. And Logan's in third, 49 and 63 on his total game picks. So we'll see how this week does for each of us, and hopefully it's pretty solid.
Yeah,
I hope.
It'll be fun to watch this week.
Definitely.
I'm excited for that Monday Night Football game.
Oh, yeah. Me too. That's going to be a
So that's a big game for the Rams.
huge game, yeah, because they lose, like we talked about.
Yep.
Sam Fran can sneak up.
Sneaking in there. Don't doubt Sam Fran.
Don't doubt them. They're a good team.
Yep.
They're hit or miss, but, I mean, they're a good team. So, well, I think that is going to do it for the show today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, whether that be on Facebook or YouTube. It means a lot. If you're on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. It would be much, much appreciated. We will be back here Monday to talk about all these games we basically just picked, the whole Sunday slate. So we'll do that, and we'll dive into maybe some other things as well. We'll be back here at 6 p.m. Central Time on Monday. Go enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. The roads are not that great if you're in the Midwest. And like I said, we'll see you Monday. So you just got your fix with the Wicks. Appreciate it, fellas.